MediGroup Physician Services presents MediGroup's Frank's Fast Five with healthcare executives, produced by Bridget Wilson and Carrie Peters. Today's guest is Dr. Paula Muto, founder and CEO of UberDoc. Now here's your host, MediGroup's Frank Gillespie.
Well, hello and welcome to another edition of MediGroup's Frank's Fast Five. Happy 2024, this being our first Frank's Fast Five for 2024. And you know what? We have a great time producing these little segments, and we hope that you enjoy them a little bit too. So today I have the privilege of talking with Dr. Paula Muto, founder and CEO for UberDoc. And we happened to catch her in her car. She pulled off to the side. She's on to another case, but she's taking time for Frank's Fast Five. Dr. Muto, welcome. It's an honor to see you. How are you?
Oh, great. Thank you for being so accommodating. Yes, I had one case. I had one more case than I thought I had. I guess a minute before I'd be in my scrubs. But it ain't really nice to be here, and Happy New Year to everybody too.
Yes, thank you so much. Happy New Year. Thanks for making time for us today. I won't waste your time. I promised you I wouldn't do that. So, Dr. Muto, first question. Can you tell us a bit about your background in the healthcare industry, please?
So certainly. So I'm a surgeon. I'm a general surgeon and a vascular surgeon. I've been a surgeon for over 25 years. I'm the daughter of a great thoracic surgeon. I am the wife of a surgeon in vascular. And also I am the sister of a surgeon and the niece. So you kind of get the picture. Family of surgeons. So all in Massachusetts for a collective century. So I've always been in private practice. I've been blessed with a fabulous team around me. And I'm very much an advocate for the patient-doctor relationship and for independent doctors.
Wow, what a great resume. That is fantastic. Thank you so much. And to have that background in their family, oh my goodness, that is awesome.
Yes, we're genetically predisposed to.
That's a great way to be predisposed for sure, no question. So, Dr. Muto, the second question, and I appreciate your answer to the first, but how did your background and experience lead to the founding of UberDoc?
So having, as someone literally on the front lines, right, of medicine and running your own practice, seeing sort of like what's happening and being a witness to all of the changes from the HMO world into Romney Care, which we had in Massachusetts, into then Obamacare, into the current debacle that we have in healthcare, I've kind of seen how it's not working for my patients and not working for the doctors. And as we see this kind of slow march to the sea, shall we say, where things are just sort of like falling apart. I thought maybe we could do something really simple to sort of like to make it easier for doctors and make it easier for patients. And that's where UberDoc came about, a really simple concept of creating a relationship between a patient a patient that needed a doctor nearby and available, yep, and to make an appointment that doctor. It started off in person only. And of course, with telemedicine, we now have those doctors available like beyond just a physical examining room. They're both available in person and remotely. And the concept of, nearby changes, but the basics haven't changed. To get a patient in the door to the right doctor right away. And rather than use the insurance model, just pay a transparent price. Just a simple, fair price for the care.
Absolutely. I've been on your website and it is so simple to navigate. It is so easy to use. There's no reason why somebody would, it's intuitive. Why wouldn't they want to use that? So let's take a little bit of a deeper dive into UberDoc and benefits to patients and providers. How do they use it? How do they set it up? Any cost to the patient other than paying the provider, or any other details with regard to benefits to the patients and providers?
So on the patient side, the patient can utilize it. There's no membership fees, okay, these kind of a membership to be part of these things. It's like there's no membership. It's a pay-as-you-go model. The nice thing about it is a lot of patients are like now finding their doctors have become concierge or direct primary care doctors. This is kind of a way to kind of be direct pay a la carte, where you may not paying an annual fee, but you'd pay the doctor, for the episodic care that So it sort of fits in really nicely. Patients go to urgent cares, they go to walk-ins. I kind of think of it as urgent care model for specialty care. Like instead of walking into an urgent care, could you walk across the street and go right into the ankle specialist after you twisted your ankle? Because after all, it's an ankle problem. The ankle doctor probably would be able to solve it fastest.
Yes.
So from a patient standpoint, it's simply using your health savings account or credit card. And many employers now expand those HSAs and FSAs. So that's sort of accessing priority access for the patient through that model. It's very easy. On the doctor side, it's just as easy. I know doctors, obviously. I know them very well. I know how work. We built this platform with experts in and people who did office, workflow and office electronic records. We don't even integrate with the electronic records. We made it incredibly, I won't say idiot proof technology set at the level of a fourth grader, where doctors literally can, if a patient says, I have a twisted ankle, can I see you tomorrow? Because it's on the Uber doc, doctor just posts an appointment slot and a patient just requests an appointment. The doctor can simply say thumbs up. I mean, we made it emoji and they get the appointment confirmed. They get it, they get money transferred into their account. They get paid. And the patient gets sent a secure message of time, location of visit, all super private without data being collected. And I think patients feel comfortable about that, and doctors just want to see the patient, right?
Yeah,
and once the patient office, they follow like every other patient, right? If they fill out the office paperwork, they get put into the electronic records, they do it like any other appointment. It's just the appointment is made through this platform to make it really easy. And I should say some of our younger doctors are very tech savvy. Like they like their practice off their phone. They like the concept of that autonomy, being able to select, accept patients that need them because they're excited. They're really well trained. They want to take care of patients that are interesting. And the giving these doctors the ability to sort of connect directly with patients for that appointment without losing the insurance payment, the referral, the authorization, all the things that your office will say, you can't see that patient.
Yeah.
Right. So we kind of go back to very, very simple basics.
Well, you have made it simple, both for the doctor and for the patient. That's just fantastic. And as we think about that and what you've accomplished on that project to date, looking towards the future, some thoughts on perhaps what's next?
So right now, we want like every doctor to be an Uber doc. I should say that. We want a seat in everyone's waiting room. We think it's really important. We offer a lot of value too, because doctors need to be on the internet. There's no phone book anymore. There's no network that makes sense anymore. The networks change all the time. If doctors want to stay in business and basically practice what they're trained to do, they need access to patients, right? It's a two-way street. They talk about meeting patients where they are.
Right.
So that doctors have to begin to look at their waiting room. Like I like to think it's like a show, like a Broadway show. Okay. Every seat, people paid a different price for the seat. Some people came in through Medicare, Medicaid, right? Some people come in through Blue Cross, and there's going to be a couple of seats going to come in cash. And so doctors need to open up to that direct pay world. And that's what I see our biggest value is that we basically opened up a supermarket aisle for direct pay, make the doctors be transparent. They will lead the mission for transparency. I'm going to say that again. Doctors are going to lead this. Okay. We've been following, but doctors want to take care of patients. That's what we're programmed to do. And and if a patient wants to pay cash, they should be allowed to pay outside insurance, and the doctor should have a price that's affordable. And that's the exciting part of this. It's not going to replace every waiting room patient, but it's going to provide those seats. And I think that's the bigger picture here, Frank. That's where we bring transparency into reality. It's not just a word that gets thrown around. You got to be transparent, right? It actually puts that word into action.
Totally. Yeah, absolutely. Totally agree. And it gives the patient some options. That's just awesome. I love it. Okay, we're at that magic last question. And you get the last few words, Dr. Moodle. What message do you want to leave with our viewers?
So I think that I wouldn't be afraid, right? People are always afraid. We make it easy. We make it a no-brainer. We want every doctor to participate in UberDoc. We love specialties. We want to hear from people. We want you to tell your patients, if they can't get in to see you for 6 months, go online and book with UberDoc. It's okay, because after all, these patients need to be seen and you all need to stay in business. And I think that this is a no-brainer and a win-win for both sides. Again, being price transparent doesn't mean that you have to be expensive. It just means you have to be accessible. And at the end of the day, we all just want to do what we're trained to do. Absolutely. Because that's joy, and that's why we do what we do.
Absolutely. And you can tell you love what you're doing. That's perfect. The enthusiasm and everything. I love it. I love talking with you. This is it. This is our 5 questions, and fantastic. I can't thank you enough for your time. Clearly you're busy, you're in the car, and you made time for this segment. Thank you, Dr. Muto. And we look forward to promoting the agreement further and bringing new people onto the participation platform.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Frank, for having me.
Thank you. Have a great rest of the day.
This has been MediGroup's Frank's Fast 5 with Healthcare Executives, produced by Bridget Wilson and Carrie Peters, and hosted by Frank Gillespie. Special thanks to Dr. Paula Muto, founder and CEO of UberDoc. This has been a presentation of MediGroup Physician Services.